And we are live. Welcome to this edition of Thursday to Thrive. My name is Leah Garcia, and I'm super excited. I love our Thursdays, a little more casual here, but we're talking about zero net cost benefits. I love zero net cost benefits. I love things that are free. And if you know me, free is one of my favorite F words. So today we're talking about benefits. You don't need a budget. When we talk about benefits, health insurance, dental plans, vision plans, life insurance, all of those kinds of things, disability plans, those can really eat into our budget. And if we're an employee, the employer might be subsidizing, the employer may be paying for a portion of those benefits, but typically the employer doesn't subsidize the entire premiums, which means that the employee has to come out of pocket not just for their premiums, but also for their co-pays and deductibles and prescriptions. And that can really add up. So what if you can have benefits that you don't need a budget for? I think that sounds amazing. When we talk about zero net cost benefits, these are benefits that are zero net cost to the employer, meaning it doesn't cost them anything. It takes them some elbow grease. So there's some investment and time, right, to put those together, and we will help them through the process. And these benefits are also free to their valued employee. I call that a win-win. I know sometimes when I say that, it sounds too good to be true. A lot of people say that to me, but it's not too good to be true. It's just another economic relief program. Think about it. We have many economic relief programs. I know people that have economic subsidies for their daycare for their children, subsidies for phones and for food and for housing. This is another economic relief program that has been around for many, many years, but it hasn't really been marketed. It hasn't really been packaged properly to help the average business owner. And so I'm so proud to be able to do this for our community. I think it's a great, great service, a great value that we're doing, we're adding. I think that we're uplifting our community by allowing them to have benefits, that they can have more affordable benefits and be able to take care of our good health. That we can't replace. Once our health goes a little off track, it is difficult to get it back on track. Ask anyone who suffered a major illness or a major accident. And my 19-year-old nephew was in a truck versus motorcycle accident now 3 years ago. He was hit so hard that he was ejected about 90 feet off of his motorcycle, and his boots, his cowboy boots, were still on the motorcycle when they picked him up with the rescue. They airlifted him. We didn't even know if he was going to make it through the night. Thank God he made it through the night. He's alive. But you know what? He's working hard to get his body back. He's working really, really hard. He was always a real fit guy, young guy, really worked out all the time. So he already had that muscle of going to the gym. But what was really frustrating for him was that he couldn't use his muscles the way that he was used to. He's still working to get the full use of his right hand. So he's had to make some adjustments. But boy, when you have to fight to get back your good health, think of not only doing that, but now you have the burden of these huge co-pays, huge deductibles. And that's what I love about these zero net cost benefits, this economic relief program. I know what we're doing is something good for the employer, putting money back in their pocket, allowing them to be the hero of their company, right? That their employees just see how much they value their valued employees. And at the same time, the employee has benefits that are corporate style benefits. We're talking about rich, robust benefits. So that's what I wanted to share, but it's not about me, it's about my amazing team. And I'd love to hear from you all and how you think about these benefits that don't break the bank. So what do you have to say, Zachary?
Yeah, I love what you just shared. It just reminds me that, like, you don't have to budget when it's free. Like that, I mean, that's so simple. And it just reminds me of whenever you play bingo, I always gravitate towards the free space, like always. On my path to winning, why not take advantage of the free space? And so if you're an employer and you're listening to this, why not take advantage of something that's free? Save money in your pocket. It also reminds me of, I love free samples. Like when I go to Costco, I love picking up the free samples. And I'm going to be honest, I love getting seconds and thirds when I go get free samples. I'm guilty, but free samples allows me to get a little taste of what I actually want. And imagine if you're an employer and you're listening to this thinking, man, I've got to pick up something that's free in order to be successful. Like, why not take advantage of something that is offered to you that's free, it's a win-win, and it could help you on the path to success. So when I think about zero net cost benefits, I really reflect on what that's like of taking advantage of a free space. I mean, that should be your number one thing as you go to strategize. Where can I find the free space? Where can I find the free resource? Where can I find the free opportunity for a win-win?
That was so fire. You're so awesome. We're going to cover up that free space on our bingo card. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I go into Costco and I get those free samples, they taste so incredible. When I get it home, it doesn't always translate exactly the same way. I'm not really sure how that works, if they put some special sauces on it or they have that special pizzazz, a cooking pizzazz. But I always have this great idea of what it's going to be, and then I get it home.
When you got it there, it was free.
Is that
Once you got it home, you had to pay for it.
It always tastes better when it's free. Everything's better. Think about it. When you go on a free vacation, the sun is sunnier, the sand is sandier. Like every time I take a free vacation, I just think that everything is so much better. So totally on point. Your point is well taken, Miss Sharon. So with that being said, we'd love to hear from you. So what do you think about these benefits that don't break the bank? What do you have to say, Miss Sharon? What do you add?
As somebody with disabilities and chronic conditions, I love the idea of free benefits, simply because I have been in a situation where I have had benefits, and I know a lot of my clients are in the situation that I'm in, even clients that I worked with in the past, all the way to the present. Even with benefits, there's so much out-of-pocket expense a lot of the time that you're not only paying for your benefits so that you can hopefully reduce what you're paying for, but then the out-of-pocket, it just becomes insurmountable at times, and what are you supposed to do? Say, no, thank you, I won't take that half of the service because I'm going to have to pay for that? Or no, thank you, I'll only take half my wheelchair because I can only afford the half that, my benefits are going to pay for. So I love that idea. I love the idea of free benefits, but they're even more than what I just shared. The thing that there's so much that you both said that resonated with me, but two things that really stuck out with me is Zach, what you said about, the opportunity. And I love the use of that word because it really is. And why not take the opportunity? You're not being greedy. You're not being, selfish. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity. It's a door that opens. It's an opportunity so that you can take that opportunity so that you can create more opportunities with the funds that you aren't spending on that. You could put those funds towards something else. And Leah, what really resonated, everything that both of you said resonated, but really stuck out with what you said is about how you can then amplify your community, because we don't get anywhere by ourselves. That is the biggest myth in the world. I am one of the most independent people on the face of this planet. However, there is not one person on the planet that can reach any of their goals, whether it's educational, financial, whatever it is. We all need assistance. We all need somebody to bridge some kind of gap. And we have to bridge gaps for other people in other areas. So in order to build, I just love the whole thing about if we take some free resources and free opportunities, then there's so many different ways that we can come together to build up our communities. And the way we get stronger as individuals is to strengthen our communities and our society as a whole.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. I love that. And when I think about that, Miss Sharon, it's like so many times people, we say that they're self-made. And I totally agree with you. Nobody has ever gotten anywhere by themselves. And I definitely have had so many people pour into me. I've had my leaders, friends, colleagues who have lifted me up. I mean, you're seeing me now, but I've been in this industry. I've been licensed for almost 20 years. I started part-time when my kids were little and they were going to school. I wanted to have some way to make some income. I couldn't have a traditional job. I had 4 kids and all my kids did activities. So I was running around with them. And I looked at buying a business, but that was pretty cost prohibitive. So this was a way for me to have extra income that I could work around my schedule. So I was part-time for a long, long time when my kids were growing up. So I love that is that we really all do need each other. We really do. And that's why I've elected to really have a team. I'm growing my team because I really want to grow a team. It's a lot more fun to do this together. This could be a very, very lonely business if you're just selling insurance by yourself, but I promise you, we have a lot of fun on this team and we do absolutely lift each other up. We've got a lot of other things that are pulling us down. And if you're an entrepreneur by yourself, a lot of times that can be really challenging. But when we're doing things together, we can lean on each other. When things are going a little bit awry, or we're just not feeling that's, we're feeling a little sideways about something. So that's the beauty of building a team and being a part of the team. And what I love about our opportunity here, because we do get compensated for this, even though it's free to the employer, even though it's free to the employee, even though it doesn't cost them anything, no enrollment fees, no credit checks, no background checks, no bank statements, even though all of those wonderful things, we do actually get compensated for doing this. And what's wonderful is you can build a passive income stream that will pay you for the work life of that employee. So I love giving other people this opportunity. I really do. It's an opportunity where they can build, we can all build that passive income stream. I don't know about you, but I love massive passive income. It's one thing to go to work and get paid. And if you're a ditch digger, you dig the ditch and you get paid, and that's great. I absolutely sell insurance and I get compensated for that. But I love being able to offer things that are free and get compensated for doing the right thing, for doing something that's good. We were talking offline about this, but you can make money doing a lot of things. You can make money stealing stuff. You can make money doing terrible things. What I love about this industry and what I love about what we're doing here is we're getting compensated. We're building up our own family by doing something that is good and right, ethical, legal, and moral. We don't have to lie, cheat, or steal from anyone to be able to be compensated for the good work that we do. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I truly, truly do.
Can I add to that for a second, Leah?
Please do. Yeah.
So there's something that you might have realized or recognized that I've been saying over the last few months. And our society teaches us for some reason that it's selfish to want to get compensated for our expertise or our skills. And, for all the hard work that we put into getting ourselves to a certain level. And I try to take that narrative out of the equation for my clients and out of the equation for myself. It's not easy. I still get caught up in it, but and that's just me being completely transparent. But I think we need to get away from this guilt that we're taught to have over wanting and needing to be compensated for our skills and expertise. Because let's be honest, Leah, you and I have talked about this many times. There is not a darn thing we can do in this world without some connection to money.
Yeah.
In the past, in earlier history, it was more of a barter system. And the barter system still exists today. There are still plenty of people that barter with each other. I've bartered with people. People have bartered with me for my services and vice versa. However, bartering doesn't pay our bills. Bartering doesn't, get us the health coverage that we need or get us the food that we need on our table on a regular basis. So we really need to get away from the guilt that we're putting on our generations for needing and therefore wanting this currency that was created in order to make living possible. And that just happens to be money. So I just wanted to add that. So I thank you for letting me add that.
Absolutely. I love that addition. You are so on point. And that's why I love talking about money. I absolutely do. My precious grandson, we have conversations about money. He's actually helping me. He's authoring some books for me with the Maverick and his money moments. We're putting together some books about money because I think we need to flip the script and really lean into, yes, we can be compensated for that. And we don't have to feel guilty. I never feel guilty receiving for the services because I know I underpromise and over deliver. I know that I give more value. In fact, no matter how much my clients pay me, they always tell me, gosh, you know what? This is so valuable. What you're doing for me, I can't even believe you're doing all of this for me. And not that I'm so amazing. What I'm saying is that we can all do that. And you're right. We don't have to feel guilty at all about it. And so with that, I want to welcome Mr. Mike Drop is here in the house and from the Hello LLC. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you so much. Him and his incredible partner, Miss Tara Bush. I call her Miss Christmas. They actually run the Hello LLC, and all of my technology you see, from my banner here, from my ebook to my Biz in a Box, is all credited to their incredible work. And they're helping me to re-energize all of that. I'm doing a lot of fun stuff. You're going to see some new things getting dropped here really, really soon. So thank you so much, Mr. Mike Drop. Always great to see you. Always appreciate your support. And yeah, it is about us supporting each other. It really is about us. And I don't mean just us, but I mean us as a LinkedIn community, a social media community. We're putting ourselves out there. We're attempting to be of service. And anytime you're attempting to do something good, I've talked about this, I think, with all of you, but anytime we're where we are and we want to do something good, we want to do something that is going to benefit others, we are going to experience resistance. And I can speak for firsthand. I know that I've experienced that. Every time I'm going to a next level, I have some resistance. You can deem it whatever terminology you want to put on behind it, but it's just the way that it works because we're trying to do something good. Some people call it, the devil or, whatever it is, but I just know I know when I'm growing and I know when I'm having more value because some kind of resistance starts to poke its head up. But see, I fortified myself and I understand that. And so when I see it, I recognize it and I call it out. And I have an action plan. I tell myself when those things happen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about my affirmations. I'm going to share my vision. I'm going to call my friends. I'm going to call my colleagues, the ones that are going to pour into me and lift me up. Call my mentor. I have certain books that I read, right? Certain audios that I listen to so that I can strengthen myself to get through the resistance. Because on the other side of that is not only the next level of me, but on the next level of the community and the people that I'm going to serve. And I've had clients who unfortunately have had to use the benefits that I put in place for them. I've had clients who unfortunately have had critical illnesses and chronic illnesses, cancer diagnosis, and have passed away. and they've actually had to use the benefits that I put in place. And I'm sitting across the kitchen table now with their family. And you know what? I know what I'm doing is making a tremendous difference. I know if it weren't for me, that family would not have those things in place. And when it comes to these zero net cost benefits, there are very few companies that are doing this. And the majority of that are offering these benefits are probably going to make the process a little bit cumbersome. We've got it down to a science. We can give you that white glove service and really help you to provide those benefits that you want to provide to your valued employees, that your valued employees are looking for. They want to. They don't want to have a half of a wheelchair or a half of their medication, too high of co-pays, too high deductibles, because then that burden is something they carry around with them. If they've got that huge medical bill, that's a burden that they carry around with them, not just when they're at home, but even when they're at work. They forego getting that health check because they know that copay is high. They know that deductible is going to take food off the table. So that was really, really great words of wisdom, Ms. Sharon. So, whew, good stuff, you guys. Well, any closing words?
I just wanted to say, you said you were talking about resistance, and the way there's a few different ways I view resistance, but what really came to mind for me when you were speaking is that resistance really is the fear of change and the fear of the unknown. Yeah. And so if you can acknowledge that, yeah, your brain and your body are telling you, I don't like where I am, but I'm going to resist where I need to go or where I want to go, because as much as I don't like where I am, I know what I'm dealing with, so I'm going to stay right here. And so if you can acknowledge that what you're really struggling with or fearing is the fear of the unknown, and kind of reframe it to get yourself excited about the unknown, it's not going to be a perfect cure. But it can really change your motivation and your willingness to take those small steps to create the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's so good. And it makes me think about the story of like the frog in the boiling water, right? The frog doesn't start in the boiling water. They start in the regular water and they warm it up. And suddenly the frog is cooking itself because it didn't even realize where it was. Like, they're comfortable where you are. Our mind wants us to stay in comfort. We like things that are habitual. That's why routines and habits are so critical, because our mind wants to protect us. It wants to conserve energy. And so we do resist increasing our identity. We do resist going to another level because it is uncomfortable. So that's really, really brilliant shares. So good stuff. Thank you so much. It's always great to see all of you. And, if you're an employee and you don't have benefits, come and talk to us. We can help you to approach this subject with your employer. We could actually even do it for you. If you're an employer and you have at least 20 employees, full-time employees, and you would like to know if this benefit could work for you, see if you folks can qualify, we would love to chat with you. We're here every single Thursday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Check the time zone in your neck of the woods. And thank you so much, everybody. And remember, this is 2025. This is your year to rise up and thrive and make this the best year of your life. Yes. So that being said, thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of the week.
Take care.